it's neither here nor there. His legacy, his influence in Ghana, some people say that he didn't do quite good, but they say for a man who ruled for, is it 9 years or 19 years, that you can't just say he did all bad and no good. It's really a shocking news coming out from Ghana, the death of Jerry Rawlings.
Oh, mixed feelings. There are those who say, the radical change he brought to Ghana did come with some controversy, and some may have not forgiven just the way he went about the radicalization of the politics at that time, leading the junta in Ghana. But we're also waiting to connect to RI's correspondent, AFUA ADOM, who is of Ghanaian descent as well. AFUA, great to have you join us at this time. Just tell us, how do you feel hearing this breaking news coming out of Ghana at this time?
Well, I must say, I was saddened to hear the news of the death of J.J. Rawlings. We know that his mother died only last month, in the past few weeks, and he was devastated seeing at the funeral there. Only 73 years old, no age, as we say in Ghana. So yes, definitely saddened to hear of the news of the passing of J.J. Rawlings. And he really was influential in Ghanaian history. Flight Lieutenant Rawlings, as he was known, one of our first presidents. And although he did come to power following a coup in 1979, he came to power just 5 weeks before elections were supposed to take place. He was seen as such a great force and a great power in Ghana, and because of his history, that his part Scottish descent, it led to quite a settling of Scottish people, of Ghanaian people, in Scotland, like myself, like my family. And that was simply because of J.J. Rawlings and because of his heritage. So for him to have passed at this time, especially in this year, it's really, really sad. It's really, really sad to hear of this news, definitely.
It is, honestly. It's devastating news indeed, AFUA. How would you say that he will definitely be remembered? What are those key things that stand out to you?
Well, like I said, he came to power in a coup in 1979, and that was at a great moment for Ghana. Coming to power in a coup 5 weeks before the election perhaps was not the way that we would have liked him to come to power. And he was of the NDC, opposite to the party, the MPP that we have now. But Jerry Rawlings is one of those people that no matter what political party you have an affinity for, what he did for Ghana can never be underestimated. Like I said, Flight Lieutenant Rawlings, as he was known in the army, was a very powerful man and a very powerful president, very powerful in his position, and did a lot of things for Ghana in the late 70s into the early 80s, until the next president came to power. He would definitely be remembered as one of the forefathers of independence. Even though Ghana gained independence in 57 and have had peaceful elections, every election since and ahead of the elections on December 7th, he was very influential as a president. Like I said, came to power in a coup. But like I said as well, one of those people that no matter what party you are from, you will always remember the influence of J.J. Rawlings and the influence that he had in Ghana in the late 70s to the early 80s, and really pushed the country forward when it needed it the most.
All right, AFUA, let's talk about his parentage. He was of mixed parentage. His father was a Scottish man, James by name, and then his mother, who just died recently, he buried his mother recently at 101, was, of course, a Ghanaian. How did he transit, into choosing Ghana instead of Scotland, where his father originates from?
I think that's a lot to do with his upbringing, and a lot to do with the influence that his mother really had on his life. And also, I think, with his connections with Ghana's fight for independence back in the 50s, and the influence of Kwame Nkrumah can never really be underestimated. It filtered down through the generations then and continues to filter down through the generations even now until to our leaders who are running for election. And like I said, because of his father, father, James Rawlings, and because of the connection to Scotland, that led to a pretty sizable Ghanaian community in Scotland, of which I am a part of which lots of people settled during the 70s, the late 70s and into the 80s, and built a community there. And these are a community of professionals, of medicals, of doctors, of pharmacists, of psychiatrists that came to settle in Scotland purely because of Jerry Rawlings and his influence and those connections with his father. But yes, like you said, he did remain very loyal to Ghana, very loyal to his mother. And I do think it was the influence down the years of past presidents and Ghana's fight for independence that led him to join the army, to move through the ranks, and of course, like I said, to be the spearhead of that coup that took place in 1979. And even though he lived outside Ghana for a while, in Switzerland and all around and all these places, he settled back in Ghana in his later years. And of course, he died in one of our teaching hospitals. It's been reported, Corlebu Teaching Hospital, which is one of those hospitals that, to be honest, if you were sick in Ghana, you were never going to go there, but has been repurposed, revived through the years, and is one of the leading hospitals in the country. So yes, I would say that it was the influence of his mother that brought him back home and brought him to make this bid for presidency.
And Afia, I was going to ask you if you ever met him in person, and what impact did he have on you? Also, just to add to it, he was supporting former President John Mahama in the December 7th election before his death. What effect do you think that this will have on the election? Very briefly.
JJ Rawlings was one of the presidents I've had the chance to meet. I've met him, and I've met our current president, Nana Akufo-Addo, and I actually met JJ Rawlings in Glasgow when he visited Scotland many, many years ago, and I met him during independence celebrations, our 60th independence celebrations here in London. I think this will have actually quite a profound effect on this election coming up on December 7th. He was part of the NDC supporting John Mahama, as you so rightly said, and I think this will spur them on. Let's be honest, they aren't doing very well in the polls, but as we've seen, pollsters can massively get it wrong. But I think this will definitely spur on the party, spur on John Mahama and his vice presidential running mate to, do it for Jerry Rawlings, as it was seen, and do it for him, and do it for the party, and do it for the NDC, most definitely.
Many thanks to you, Arise correspondent AFUA ADOM, for joining us to share your testimony of the man that JJ Rawlings was to many people across Ghana, across Africa. May his soul rest in perfect peace.